Welcome back to Yoshi Entertainment, everybody. So, just recently, I had woke up and rolled over, and whenever I logged into the YouTube app, all kinds of stuff was going off, including this absolute ridiculousness going down between DJ Academics and Saucy Santana. Now, if you've been following my channel for a while now, you'll know how I feel about both of those individuals. But to save some time, I'll just give you a recap of what happened. Basically, from what I can remember, what I can ascertain, and from what I do understand, DJ Academics, I don't know what his problem is, but has something against some people. That's what it seems like to me. One of them being Carisha, otherwise known as Young Miami, point five of the City Girls. Remember back, whenever Diddy had came out with his alleged child that he had for that Asian woman, allegedly. She tried to make it seem like she was not upset, but I do believe that she was. For whatever reason, DJ Academics took it upon himself to just go in on this girl on Twitter. They were going back and forth like there was no tomorrow. I don't understand what it even had to do with him to be able to just go back and forth with her to begin with, but that's neither here nor there. Like I said, so they don't have, a good relationship. There's bad blood between them to begin with. When Diddy was on the podcast, whatever it is with him, he told the dude, hey, leave my shoddy wop, as ridiculous as that was to say, alone. He didn't have a whole lot of smoke for Diddy, and that's something that I'm starting to realize. People have been saying, oh, he's been disrespectful. But it seems like to me, he's always had the smoke a lot for the women. That's like when he was on, what are those two people? The red pill guys? I didn't forgot their name. Myron and whatever that dude's name is. Whenever he was on their podcast, he was yelling at that one woman like that was another man. Like he was about to come across that table and smack her or something. And I was like, where is all this rage and aggression coming from for this woman? That's very suspect behavior coming from a man. But with all these other men, he ain't have that same smoke. Another one that reminds me of that is DJ Envy. He had all that smoke for Ebony K, and I've mentioned that before. But when what's his name threatened to slap the taste out of his mouth, he didn't have nothing to say. But that's not about him. That's neither here nor there. This video is about these two stooges. So he went in once again on Carisha Please because he wanted to point out, for whatever reason, that she hasn't been making music with her other half of the duo, that they kind of just stepped away from, the music scene, which they have, and that how talentless she is and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, well, there's some other ones you could call out for being talentless too, that just got up there for reasons we all know why. Why are you just calling her out? Call them all out. A lot of people in the industry right now, it sounds the same. They all look the same and they all sound the same. But nobody wants to talk about that. But nevertheless, he was going in on her, just her alone. And I guess Saucy Santana had had enough of it. Him and Carisha are like best friends or something like that. I still don't really understand completely and totally the nature of that friendship. But, whatever. And I guess he got mad, he got triggered. He got tired of him having something to say about her. Then he went in on DJ Academics. And I'll never understand why people record themselves and upload to a public platform threatening another individual. They do realize that the FBI, the authorities, has access to this stuff, right? They do realize that, right? That never ceases to amaze me that people are so bold. Like you couldn't call him or you couldn't be like, hey, I would like to meet you at a restaurant and then say what you had to say. No, you had to publicize it. They do realize that this can count as evidence in the court of law and be held against them, right? Or at least I think it can be. I could be wrong, but, politely correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe that could be used against somebody. And the reason why I do is because of what happened with the whole Kenneth Petty situation. They had that man on house arrest once again. So quick, it made everybody's heads turn a little bit. But anyways, like I said, he made a host of threats saying, oh, we'll come out and do this to you and do that to you. And then DJ Academics did the same exact thing. And I was like, once again, the authorities have access. But like I said, he started making his own series of threats. He was talking about how he was Jamaican, that he don't even have dealings with people like Saucy Santana, and I was like, oh, I didn't even know this dude was Jamaican. It was also funny hearing him talk about how Saucy Santana needed prayer. That was like the pot calling the kettle black. Like, DJ Academics needs just as much prayer as Saucy Santana does, let's just be honest. A lot of people were trying to slam him for homophobic comments, And while I'm not saying what he said was okay, I am going to say that what he said was accurate. Okay, over there in the Jamaican islands, they don't be fooling with people like Saucy Santana, okay? They have had instances where people have been offed just because of living that kind of lifestyle. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm just saying that that's the way that it is. Now, one thing I have to mention that I did agree with Saucy Santana, which I never in my life thought I would actually be saying, is when he was pointing out once again always who he had smoke for, and I'm talking about DJ Akademiks. He was saying, you're sus because of who you always have smoke for. And I was like, well, see, he's pointed out. I'm not the only one who feels that way. But anyways, DJ Akademiks said, if you got some smoke, then why don't you roll up to whatever establishment that they had for the podcast. And I've seen people do stuff like that before on social media. Hey, roll up here, so that they can say, oh, you came here, and have charges slapped on them. To which Saucy Santana kind of somewhat, I was going to give him a little bit credit, for saying, oh no, I'm not going up over there to you. If we're going to do something, we're going to do it in the streets. Like, we're going to meet in the streets and fight, because you're not about to get me over there and then try to like trip me up. At first I was like, oh, okay, so he is pretty smart, because if he would have went over there, then they could have probably like shot him or something like that and said, oh, we had legal grounds to shoot him because he was over here acting real aggressive. But then I had to take that back, that I agree with him, and had to unagree, because the man blatantly said, once I find you, or whatever, when we meet up, he was going to assault him in 2 different ways. Y'all saw the video. Y'all heard the audio. I'm not playing it on here, and I'm not repeating what he said. I thought that was absolutely heinous of him to say. That was morbidly disrespectful. I know they were both going back and forward. Both of them had already established that they had some very negative feelings for each other. But for him to take it that far, and once again, on camera, what was he thinking? Really? Not just recording it, but what came out of his mouth. Like I said, that was very heinous of him to do. But once again, what can be expected out of the likes of these kinds of individuals? Another thing that I wanted to point out was when he mentioned, oh, there's nothing you're going to do, and Diddy can't do nothing either. And I thought that it was funny that he mentioned that, because, like I said, he didn't have that smoke when Diddy was on his show. It's real funny how they throw rocks and hide their hands. They throw rocks from a safe distance, have smoke for who they want to, when they want to, how they want to. I've said this before. And he probably also said that because he knows Diddy, I guess, can't be out here moving the way he used to move because of those, allegations and all of what has happened with Keefy D. He probably is trying to take advantage of the fact that, I guess, allegedly, Diddy's trying to lay low, not really get himself into trouble right now. Or because, like I said, it's because he wasn't there. Now, once again, I feel like this didn't even have to blow up the way it did. But when you always have somebody else's name in your mouth, like a lot of people, it's almost like they praise him for being disrespectful, or like that's just who he is. Like I said, that's a load of bullcrap. When you always have somebody's name in your mouth, when you're always being disrespectful, this is the kind of stuff that you reap. I've said it about 1,000 times. You reap what you sow. You sow disrespect. You sow always having somebody's name in your mouth. Like I said, you're going to reap disrespect. At some point in time, somebody's going to get tired, and they're going to retaliate in a way that might be appropriate or completely and heinously inappropriate. But your consequences are your consequences. So do I feel any kind of way? Absolutely not. Like I said, do I think that he went overboard, Saucy Santana? Oh, most definitely. And he's pretty bold for putting that, like I said, on camera. But do I feel any ways? Not really. Like I said, this is to be expected from these people, which is why I keep saying the culture's for the trash. Don't put these people on a pedestal. Do better, be better than them. Get some therapy and some God in your life. You'll be all right, a lot better than them, even if you don't have as much money as they do. But anyways, y'all let me know what y'all think and how y'all feel about all of this down in the comments below respectfully. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Y'all have a blessed day.